Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV, ladies and gentlemen. It's 7 p.m. You're watching This Is Exclusive. On the show this evening, we focus, and our relentless focus is on the Justice for Abhaya campaign. We have a few details of the medical syndicate. One of the biggest takeaways of the case, the rape and murder of Abhaya in Kolkata, is the presence of a health syndicate. Ladies and gentlemen, become more details of that health syndicate and the development in the investigation process that's been conducted by the CBI. We have all that and more. Here are the headlines on This Is Exclusive.
Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
Supreme Court pulls up the Mamata Banerjee government, once again questions discrepancies in the police investigation, part by part. CBI status report highlights significant delay in filing the case and inconsistencies in the statements that were made. For a seventh straight day, the CBI is questioning the RG car former principal Sandip Ghosh. CBI gets permission to conduct polygraph. CBI gets permission to conduct polygraph test of Sandip Ghosh and 4 other doctors. As Abhaya awaits justice, anger spilling onto the streets once again. It's an unrelenting protest.
Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
Those who are directly under scanner. Let me go across to get you the breaking news update. From Kolkata, the CBI has got permission to conduct the polygraphic test. That's the big breaking news update that we have as of now. Let's go across and get you more details why this is significant. The man who could hold the answers to the health syndicate, who knows what happened, who knows who asked for the cover-up, on whose instructions the cover-up took place, and why he was so important for the state government in Bengal that he was transferred immediately, given another posting, and subsequently removed once again. His name is Sandip Ghosh. We have details of that as well coming in on the show this evening. There is permission that has now been given for a polygraphic test. CBI has got permission to conduct a polygraphic test of Dr. Sandip Ghosh and 4 other trainee doctors. Question is, who are these 4 trainee doctors, Kishale? Who are these trainee doctors and why does it become critical? Why does the polygraphic test become critical in this case now?
Well, exactly, Niranjan. This is now very critical to find out answers that the CBI is looking for that Sandip Ghosh and these doctors don't want to give willingly. Sandip Ghosh has been questioned by the CBI since long, and we have got reports from our sources that his answers have often been incoherent and contradictory. These 4 doctors who were taken today at the ACGM court along with Sandip Ghosh are very important in this case because they were the ones, according to sources, who were present at a dinner table with Abhaya that last night, that horrific night. These 4 doctors were the ones with whom Abhaya had her last dinner, after which that horrific, grotesque incident took place and she had to lose her life. Now, these 4 doctors were taken along with Sandip Ghosh to the ACGM court today, and the CBI got permission to conduct a polygraph test, after which many of the answers that the CBI is looking for, that these particular individuals are not giving out willingly, would be answered hopefully. Today, the Supreme Court also specifically mentioned that the CBI should hasten its process of doing this polygraph test. The bench said that why are you waiting and what are you waiting for? You should do it quickly. And the CBI then hastily moved to the court and today got the permission. Now these 4 doctors who are very critical in this particular case because they were present there at that particular night, according to sources, and they could well hold the key and the whole sequence of events that happened that night, so they could speak about all that. So what happened that night and who were the people who were behind all this nexus and the whole event can now come out after this polygraph test. Niranjan.
Thank you for joining us with those inputs. Kishale joining us from the Kolkata newsroom. The heart of all the action in Kolkata, the Republic Bangla is leading the coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, many local networks in Bengal have blanked out the Justice for Abhaya campaign. They can't ask the tough questions because they're afraid of Mamata Banerjee's government and the administration there. But the Republic Bangla team, consistently the only channel, the only network asking the questions. Thank you, Kishale, for joining us with those inputs. I'm going across to get you a report right now to show you what happened inside the Supreme Court. The CBI filed a status report in the Supreme Court on where the investigation stands. The Supreme Court has pulled up the Mamata Banerjee government, and many scathing observations were made by the Supreme Court. Many uncomfortable questions asked for the Mamata Banerjee government, of the Mamata Banerjee government. Supreme Court, in fact, at one point observing that they haven't seen anything like this in the last 30 years, questioning the timing of the FIR, the sequence of events, the post-mortem, the FIR, and why the police botched up. It's clear now that the police has botched up, and even the Supreme Court has made no bones about it. Supreme Court has made very strong observations to that effect. Let's bring you a full report now of what happened in the court. These are some of the observations that unfolded this morning.
We want justice! We want justice!
Taking up its fresh hearing in the Arjika rape and murder after CBI filed a status report on its ongoing probe, the Supreme Court blasted Mamata government again over its murderous lapses and discrepancies in the case. Pulling no punches, the Supreme Court asked why the FIR filed belatedly in the case mentioned quote-unquote unnatural death and not rape and murder. Putting the Mamata government and her police in the dock, the 3-judge Apex Court bench asked why the post-mortem on the victim was conducted even before a complaint was filed. Invoking the CBI's status report in the Arjikar case, Apex Court again asked why the crime scene at the Arjikar was altered by the time the central agency took up the probe.
Several questions have to be answered. The CBI and the Kolkata police both submitted their report today and observations were made on that note. Well, the hearing will be next held on the 5th of September. More details will be followed post that. On the other hand, the Supreme Court has also urged the doctors around the nation to call off their strike and get back to duty, giving several assurances that their safety is the court's top priority. The Supreme Court has also sent out directions to several state governments to ensure safety and security and no adverse action on the protesting doctors.
The Apex Court noted that Mamata's police was clearly at a loss to answer the tough questions asked of it in connection with the Arjikar case. Meanwhile, the Apex Court bench headed by Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, urged the striking doctors across the country to return to work. As the Supreme Court goes ballistic at Mamata again, the nation wants to know if her government can explain the shocking lapses in the case.
One of the biggest ironies in the dealing of this case, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that Kapil Sibal is the lawyer for the West Bengal government. And the reason I say that is because Kapil Sibal is also the head of the Supreme Court Bar Association. So while Kapil Sibal, the lawyer defending the Bengal government, Kapil Sibal, the advocate for the Bengal government, was inside the Supreme Court defending the Bengal government, Kapil Sibal, the advocate and also head of the Supreme Court Bar Association, issued a press release today on behalf of the SCBA, or the Supreme Court Bar Association, condemning what has happened in Kolkata. So, one hand you have two Kapil Sibals today. You have one Kapil Sibal who has condemned what has happened in a press release on behalf of the Supreme Court Bar Association, and then you have one Kapil Sibal in the Supreme Court who has defended the Bengal government, or is defending the Bengal government legally in the court. Very interestingly, today there was a sequence because key hearings are broadcast, and you have that. That's what happened in the Supreme Court. Today, while the hearing was on, and it was live on television and streaming on the internet, there was one moment where Kapil Sibal smiles, and then Tushar Mehta, the SG, the Solicitor General, steps in and asks him not to laugh when it is such a serious issue. I'd like to play that sequence out.
Outpost that a lady of PG trainee of so-and-so
was found lying in unconscious state at so-and-so medicine department of third floor of emergency building in so-and-so, according to informed sector 92 OC and under his order leading PS with lady police. So this is not general diary entry. What is
that? Is what DD is.
Not somebody has lost
that's
the life.
According to the
Don't
rules.
at least laugh.
1 second. According to the rules that we follow,
a girl has
these regulations we've done in accordance.
Medical College Hospital Police Outpost that a lady of PG trainee of so-and-so
was found lying in unconscious state at so-and-so medicine department of third floor of emergency building in so-and-so, according to informed sector 92 OC and under his order leading PS with lady police. So this is not general diary entry. What is
that? Is what DD is.
Not somebody has lost the life.
According to the
Don't
rules.
at least laugh.
1 second. According to the rules that we follow,
a girl has
these regulations we've done in accordance.
And I'm playing out some of the details of what the CBI, which is investigating the RG Kar rape and murder, has found out and has said in the Supreme Court. Here's part one that raises questions about Mamata Banerjee's government on who the Chief Minister is trying to shield. Let's play the graphics out and I'll read out what the CBI is saying in the RG Kar rape and murder case. The CBI has said to the Supreme Court that the crime scene was altered. If you can have the graphics, please, of what the CBI has told the Supreme Court. That's part number one. The CBI has also said that the post-mortem was without an FIR being filed. So can you imagine that Abhaya was raped and murdered, and even before the FIR was conducted, even before the FIR was filed, the post-mortem was conducted of Abhaya. Point number three. Cremation was done even before the FIR was filed. So here you have a classic cover-up. The state government was perhaps trying to shield God knows who, but they ensured that the post-mortem happened before the FIR, cremation happened before the FIR, and the family was told it was suicide. And this is what the CBI has told the Supreme Court. And the reason why this becomes critical is because in the last few days, the Trinamool Congress, the West Bengal government, has gone on an overdrive, shielding its lackeys, shielding its spokespersons, to peddle a narrative that all of this was a lie. But unfortunately for them, the truth is in the Supreme Court now. The CBI has told the Supreme Court that the crime scene was altered, which is what we exposed to you a few days back when we showed you that the room was being demolished in that hospital. It was one of the first telling images of the cover-up in the RG Kar rape and murder. Post-mortem was conducted without the FIR. Cremation was done even before the FIR was filed. Family was told it was suicide. Now, it clearly doesn't add up, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you why it doesn't add up. We'll show you the sequence of events and tell you why it doesn't add up. On the 9th of August, at 10:10 a.m., there's a general diary entry that morning. At 10:10 a.m., there's a general diary entry. At 4 p.m., a case of unnatural death was filed. An unnatural death case was filed when it was a case of rape, torture, and murder. And between 6:10 to 7:10 p.m., the post-mortem is conducted. Between 6:10 to 7:10 p.m., the post-mortem is conducted. And at 11:45 p.m., the final FIR is filed. That is after the family intervenes. So this is the truth of what happened and why it doesn't add up and everything that they're now trying to cover up. And finally, the police's lie has been busted completely. The police that went on record and said that their reputation is being harmed, the same Kolkata police that shamelessly said that their reputation is being harmed because of media coverage. They said that the scene of the crime is the seminar room and it had not been touched. And they said that unverified news was being spread. Initiate legal action for spreading rumors. Can you believe that? They said that the crime scene was not touched and that they blamed the media. And they said it was unverified news. They threatened everybody and they said they would take legal action. And they even called a few people in who put out the truth. But the truth is the CBI has told the Supreme Court today that the crime scene was altered. Crime scene was altered and the Kolkata police has been exposed. They've been exposed in the Supreme Court. That is the truth of what has happened in the RG Kar rape and murder. Justice for Abhaya will continue. The campaign will continue. The fight will continue. The coverage will continue, irrespective of whether or not the Kolkata police is happy or not with that coverage. We're tracking that story very closely. Moving on now, ladies and gentlemen, as we keep our focus to the developments in Kolkata. The movement is not just in Kolkata, it's happening across the country. Worldwide support for the Justice for Abhaya campaign. And switching our attention now to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi is in Poland and he's on a two-nation tour, during which he will also travel to Kiev. He will become the first Prime Minister of India to be in Ukraine in almost 30 years. In Warsaw, Poland, the Prime Minister held a delegation-level talk with the Polish President. And during his visit to Ukraine, the Prime Minister is set to engage with President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky. And that meeting expected to take place in the next few hours. And both leaders will exchange views on finding a peaceful solution to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. So we have a voice from Warsaw on This Is Exclusive this evening. Amit Lat. Amit Lat is the Vice President of the Indo-Polish Chamber of Commerce, joining us on the broadcast today here on Republic TV. Amit, thank you for speaking to Republic, first of all. Tell us more about how the Indian community is looking at this very, very symbolic and significant visit of the Prime Minister to Poland first and then Ukraine.
Greetings to my countrymen. Absolutely, the visit of the Prime Minister of India is a historical moment to build that ties between India and Poland. And definitely, as we say, it's time to make with India wherever you do it, whether it's Poland, whether it's Ukraine or globally. And this visit has built a great relationship between two countries. And I'm sure and I'm confident when the Prime Minister goes to Ukraine also, there are going to be great developments between those two countries. In terms of when we talk about possible cooperation, yes, there are areas where India and Poland can collaborate and cooperate closely. It's artificial intelligence, it is agriculture, it is food processing and many other sectors.
You're in Warsaw. How is Poland and Ukraine? The reason why I'm asking Ukraine is because there's a lot of attention on the Prime Minister's visit to the Ukraine. How are you and how is Poland, viewing this visit of the Prime Minister to Ukraine? And what's the expectation from this visit?
It's a very important visit, and it shows the commitment of India, which is the largest democracy in the world, in terms of playing a role of friendship, a role of peace, a role where we can build cooperations for years. And Poland is a great partner in terms of and also a vibrant economy in Central East Europe. and everybody wants peace at this time. Europe is in a major crisis, as we all see. This is one of the reasons it all started when, first it was COVID. Then after COVID was naturally, of course, this Ukraine-Russia war, which has got a lot of disturbance into the region. But this visit, I'm sure, and we are confident that it is going to make a historic change into the relationship with India, between India, Ukraine, and Poland.
All right. Amit, thank you for joining us here on Republic TV. Amit is joining us live from Warsaw. A lot of interest around the Prime Minister's visit to Ukraine. It will be a global headline. And the Prime Minister was in Moscow a few weeks ago, and we saw the kind of response that came in from Ukraine to that. We even saw Zelensky respond to that, a very adverse response that came in. But will be interesting to see how Moscow now responds to the Prime Minister's visit to Ukraine. We here at Republic Media Network are watching that very, very closely, and we will be live as the Prime Minister meets Zelensky and goes to Ukraine. Taking a short break here on This Is Exclusive. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We have some more breaking news updates coming up on the show.
Big revelations in Abhaya probe. Delay in FIR, crime scene altered. Republic SIT digs deep into probe. Debating tonight at 8 p.m.